Does a sports injury have you sidelined? Are you ready to get back in the game quickly and safely? With the most up-to-date technology to relieve pain and speed recovery, Dr. Michael Scarpone and his skilled team understand your needs. Beginning this August through October, Dr. Scarpone will be available Mondays, Wednesdays, and Saturday mornings from 8 to 8:30 a.m., treating all athletes between junior high through college level. For more information and to see what other players and coaches are saying, find us on Facebook or visit us online.
Okay, you ready to go?
Yeah, whenever.
Yeah, whenever. All right. Hey, welcome to week 11. Wow, week 11.
Yeah, I know.
I wish 11 weeks would go faster than the next week's going to go because of the election. The next week's going to go it's going to be like 700 hours before next Wednesday comes.
Yeah, I don't even want to think about the election.
Sorry.
Let's focus on week 11.
And
playoffs.
oh, by the way, real men wear pink, just letting you know. I look good.
No, you don't. But,
Okay.
But I agree with the real man wear pink, but no, you don't look good.
Okay. Harrison look way better than me. All right, we have 7 games left. We have 3 games in West Virginia that are last week of the season, 4 games in Ohio, first round of the playoffs. We'll start in Ohio with the first round of the playoffs, and we've got the 2 Friday games are Harrison Central at St. Clairsville and Catholic Central at Mogador. Both huge mountains to climb, 8 versus 1. We'll start with Catholic Central going to Mogador. Mogador, I believe, this is their 26th year in the playoffs. This is 13 in a row. Finished number 1 in the AP poll. They've won 2 state titles, going for number 3. I've looked at some of the things that have them a Final Four team. Catholic Central, if Dougie Maslowski's back in uniform, they have a chance to win. If Dougie's not in uniform, life gets tough.
Yeah. The good news was after they lost to Magnolia last week, East Canton turned around and lost. Yeah, unfortunately, it was the Mogador who was at one point up 33-0 in the second quarter, and that's who you have to play. Mogador is an outstanding team. I think everybody knows how good they can be. They probably, at least the coaches, remember the last time these two met in the playoffs.
I was there.
And Central put it on them.
I was there.
And they know who's coming to town. They're not overlooking Central at all.
Absolutely not.
The Crusaders, you want to see Dougie Maslowski back in uniform. He's a monster. You know how good he is at running back. And they got to shore up their pass blocking. Brent was running for his life last week. Actually, from the sounds of things, they're lucky he's still standing this week. I mean, he was under major pressure. Harrington had a minor injury last week, but he's back. Yeah. If Dougie's back and they can keep balance and even stifle the pass rush a little bit, I feel like they can score points because they are that good in offense. But it's gonna be a monster game. Mogador is for real, and Central's gonna have a huge task ahead of them to get the upset.
Yeah, I remember that game in 2005. Playoff game was played at New Philly or Dover. Sold. It was played at Dover.
Yeah, it was Dover.
And Central put it on them.
I ran into my wife for the first time at that game.
Really?
Yep. Hi, baby.
And her life has never been the same since, has it?
No, it hasn't.
Yeah, her life's gone that way, and your life's gone that way. Yep, we get it. Harrison at St. Clairsville. Let's put it this way with Harrison at St. Clairsville, is that the good part for Harrison Central is they're not going to Ironton.
Yeah.
Because that's like a 17-hour drive by bus, and Kropka would have gotten bus sick. We know that. So now, obviously, you going to St. Clairsville, who's now projected as a Final Four team also. Yeah. You've played them once. You had success early. Obviously, St. Clairsville's a better team, but at least you don't have to drive forever to get to a playoff game.
Yeah, I mean, that's a bonus. But they did have some success against St. Clairsville early in that game. St. Clairsville has been notorious this year for kind of slow starts against teams before they kind of turn it on. We have yet to see St. Clairsville really play 4 quarters against a good team, but we've also yet to see the good teams go past 2 quarters playing well against them. Harrison's going to have to come out, somehow play the best 4-quarter game that they played all year. Hython is going to have to run the ball about 40 times and keep the clock running.
Yep.
It's going to come down to if Harrison's going to shock the world, they're going to have to pound it out with that running game they have and hope they can keep St. C off the field because, let's face it, St. C, we've seen time and time again, they only need one play drives.
Yeah, exactly. They can score from anywhere.
Yeah, so.
And Hython's got over 1,800 yards of rushing this year, so we know the workhorse that he is. He's that good. And Nick Pellegrini's got a school record for most tackles in a season this year. Yeah. So it's a good team. They're going to run into a better team.
That's a juggernaut they're facing. Now, that doesn't mean you can't pull it because you've seen it and you've been on the field with them. You have to have some confidence based on what you did early in that game, but it's still up a huge hill to climb.
All right, both those games are 7:30 Friday night. Saturday night we have 2 games, 2 Division III games. That was the Division IV, Division VI. 2 Division III games, 1 at home, 1 on the road. Big Red's hosting Zanesville, Maysville, and Maysville. Congratulations on your first ever playoff appearance, and you're going to Harding Stadium where you love the horse.
Now I do.
Not when you were dressed in blue and gold. Huh?
Not then, but now, yeah, the horse is kind of cool again.
And then Catholic and Indian Creek, fresh off a 9-1 season. Finished 7th in the standings. Obviously, when two of your wins are off teams that are 1-19, you don't get a whole lot of second level points, which is why they finished in 7th. But they're going to West Holmes and on complete opposite of teams between Creek and West Holmes. We'll talk with Zanesville, Maysville, and Big Red. Obviously, we talked all year about Big Red getting a identity on offense. Well, they found the identity. Thy name is Deshaun Redmond.
Yeah.
And they've kind of gone to the power running attack with Corey Stinson, a little bit flips here to Petrella and other kids. But Deshaun Redmond's pretty much been the workhorse the last 3 years.
He's running the ball like a man right now. I mean, he's doing the things that you expect Hython to do, where he's carrying the ball 30 times.
Right.
He's able to do that. He's shown a power in the running, and he gets stronger as the game goes on, and he showed that against Buckle. The other thing Big Red has that a lot of high school teams don't have is the kicker. Luke Smith is solid. I mean, he had kicked a 33-yarder in that game that could have probably been 50-yarder. I mean, he crushed it. I mean, so they have something in a close game, a weapon that not a lot of schools have. He can hit that long field goal. Stinson is a solid quarterback. He's never really excelled this year, but he's never been in a position where he's costing his team games. And when you have a running game with Deshaun Redmond the way that it's going right now, that's a plus. And their defense is nasty. I mean, they really are. Their run defense, if you can run on Big Red, you can run on anybody, is the way I feel this year.
Yeah, and plus it's kind of hard to – I mean, although some of those kids have graduated, but Maynard Reed pretty good in the middle.
He just stacks up
on the D-line, and, he's a pretty talented kid.
Yeah, no doubt.
All right, we go to West Holmes, where you're going to be Saturday night, and West Holmes loves to run the ball, hates to throw the ball, hates it. Creek will play both sides of it with their stable of backfields with Wynn and Logan Woods and Blake Rohr and Alex Young. I think is going to be the best athlete on the field.
Oh, yeah.
And this is going to be a very, very interesting game Saturday night.
Oh, yeah. I mean, I'm impressed with Indian Creek. You look at the last 2 wins against Buckeye and Edison. Sure, their records weren't stellar.
Right.
But it's real easy when you're thinking playoffs to overlook teams like that. Oh, we can wipe the floor. Well, they did. They wiped the floor with both of them. They came out and dominated. If they're going to get a matchup in the first round and get some confidence in the playoffs, even though it's a 2-7, West Holmes is a team, they line up tight, they run the wing tee, they're trying to pound the ball at you. If there's a matchup that goes toward Creek's favor and they're in the favor of their defense, it's that.
I agree with you.
They're hurt more by teams that spread it out. Now, West Holmes does it exceptionally well, so that doesn't mean you're going to stop it. The other thing is I was told – in the middle, they might have some issues going up the middle with their offense. Indian Creek might, because they have a big linebacker in West Holmes and that just eats up the middle, kind of like the way Wendland eats up the middle for Creek. But we've seen Creek; they've gone from anything from bone to 4 wide out spread. You really don't know what's coming. They keep you off target. West Holmes has got a huge task in figuring out what Connor's going to come out with this week. I love the way Creek matches up with this team, but again, West Holmes 7th in the AP poll, 9-1. They're an exceptional team. It should be a really good game.
I agree. It should be a really good football game. And one thing about West Holmes, if Creek goes 4-5 wide, and they have some really good coverage, you still have to tackle Alex Young.
Yeah, if he gets outside the pocket, it's so dangerous.
It is completely.
And that's the thing. This is I think what West Holmes seems to be is a big, powerful team, some speed, but not a ton of it.
Right.
That favors Creek if they can get Alex outside, if they can get Logan outside, if they can get Kamarick out in one-on-one coverage, they have speed, and they could utilize that this weekend.
It's a good football game. Definitely a good football game. The 3 West Virginia games, the biggest one of the night by far and quite easily is 9-0 Clay Battelle going to 8-1 Weirton Madonna on Friday night. This game originally scheduled for Saturday, got moved to Friday. 7 o'clock game. A win by Madonna will give them 9-1 record. They're number 5 in the state according to the points list. Clay Battelle's number 6. With a win by Madonna, they should probably move up to 3 or 4, which guarantees them 2 home playoff games only if they win the first playoff game. Ross Comas is 56 yards short of being a 1,000 player. He's already over 1,000 yards rushing. 56 yards passing will get him over 1,000 yards passing. This is a really talented team that's still healthy with Bowser and Biondillo and Osman and Nero, and you've got Travis Brown on defense and the 6'7" foot Josh Martin, who's just a big kid to move. It's hard to tell what kind of Clay Battelle team is because sometimes Clay Battelle's come in 9-1, and it's been a strange 9-1. But
the question is, who is Clay Battelle beat? I think Madonna's going to be the best team they've faced all year. Sometimes that's a shock to the system. You come in, you've been playing teams you've been able to handle thus far. You come in and you hit a team like Madonna, who has so many weapons and plays such good defense, you're almost shell-shocked. Comas, the way he can beat you both running and throwing, and if it does turn into a good game, and I said this when we talked about leading up into the Central game and it came to fruition, if it's a one-score game, Ross Comas is the guy that's going to win the game. I honestly believe that. He's the one player that's going to take over a game and win it, and if Clay Battelle is as advertised, the 9-0, and it's a tight game, I still like Comas to win the game.
Because he'll be the best athlete on the field.
Yeah, it comes down to your whose best player is going to make plays, and I'll always have my money on.
Yeah, then you got the zone option read where he chooses to either put it in Osman's belly or take it away from and it's
they have so many ways to beat you. I just love the way Madonna's playing football right now.
It's pretty solid. The 2 games where both teams will finish their season tomorrow night is Magnolia at Oak Glen is the first game. Obviously, Magnolia proved their worth by beating up Catholic Central last week. Everyone knows Magnolia's good, and they're good. There's no. I think personally, I put them on the first rung. That's who people have to beat to win the state title. That's my opinion because I think they're that good. And Oak Glen is coming off a loss to Point Pleasant. Oak Glen's, and under the new coaching staff, new system, new everything, had their bumps, had their ups and downs. But I do like Oak Glen down the line and for future because next year Bub Haddocks will be a senior starting quarterback, not a junior starting quarterback. But this is a tough finish for them hosting Magnolia.
I think next year, you're going to see a marked improvement in Oak Glen. But this is an Oak Glen team that hasn't been playing well the last couple weeks. They really haven't, especially last week against Point Pleasant. And they're playing a Magnolia team that's rolling along. Rogowski is a monster. They have a great
Magnolia's defense.
Their defensive line
is
big and fast, which is not a fair combination when you're playing.
No, exactly.
Especially, Oak Glen's 2A, but when you're playing at the 1A level and you got big and fast on the D-line, it's really not fair.
Yeah.
But, Oak Glen is a gutsy team. I like where they're heading, and it'll be exciting to see them next year, but I just don't like how they match up this week.
And the last game of the night is Brook at Morgantown. Morgantown, obviously, big game for them just because it's playoff time. Brook, last game of the season for a lot of the seniors. And the one thing about Brook, they play a lot of kids. And once again, look into next season. Obviously, you lose Buck Melter, you lose Raleigh Mason, you lose some other really good players, but you got a lot of really good players coming back.
Oh, yeah. This is basically their state championship game. I mean, they get their chance. They're playing one of the top teams in the state. You have Buck Melter and Raleigh Mason on the field for the second time this year? Only?
Yeah, full time, really.
And that's nice. And you've had the opportunity for guys this year, which is going to benefit you in the future. Morgantown is an exceptional team. They're looking to try and win a Class 3A title in West Virginia. They might be looking ahead. Brook's got some talent on that field. If they can keep it close and maybe pull off an upside, that'd be a way to go out this year.
That'd be a great way to go out, right?
Yeah, be exceptional.
Some sort of bragging rights.
Oh, yeah. We beat the 3A champion.
Future so bright. Future so bright.
That is a pretty sweatshirt.
Thank you. I rock the pink. See ya.